doing? What are we doing in that particular?
Let me tell you the first thing we did when we came on board: the dismantling of the roadblocks. I keep talking about this because it is one of those things, one of those habits, or one of those policing strategies in the past that gave us a lot of bad names. Not only did we record a lot of accidental discharges in those areas, it was also a center port for corruption. And I can tell you statistically that since we dismantled the roadblock, corruption in Nigerian police force have dropped significantly. And we are following up with other reforms. We came up with the police code of conduct, and we are pursuing that very vigorously. We are, and when you talk about trainings and retraining, you can't change attitude without training. And that's why we are taking issues that has to do with training very seriously.
What about welfare? Because a host of people will say that are we also taking into cognizance police welfare? Let me take a very, in mild instance now. You're wearing blue and black. I think that this police uniform was launched a long time ago, and we said that senior officers are going to wear it to see what the perception will be. I think I want to believe, as part of image making, what exactly is happening. It seems is yet to trickle down to the rank and file of the Nigerian police. Is this also something as in a pipeline? Is there something preventing it from happening?
Okay, let me tell you. When you manage an organization as large as the police force, and probably you are sitting at top of it as the IGP, there are things you can do within your power, expressly within your powers, and those things it is easier for you to do them. And these are some of the things I've been reeling out. There are things that you can do without appropriate appropriation from the relevant government quarters that hold the key to the votes. And that is one of the reasons, for example, why we've not been able to achieve a salary increase for officers and men of the Nigerian police force. When the IGP came on board with his management team, one of his biggest desire was to get a situation where probably the least police officer in Nigeria will probably earn a minimum of 50,000 naira. He made this clear. He talked about it openly. I'm sure he has also pushed it as much as he can. We've not been able to, have not been able to materialize, not because the police management team have no desire to get it materialized, but because probably we've not been able to get appropriate financial backing for it. And so when you come to the issues of welfare, we've been able to do certain things that we can. For example, if you look at the issues of barracks, what we've tried to do was, because the larger barracks has to do with the appropriation from government quarters, from federal government funding. With the little money we have started renovating a lot of barracks. But we have gone beyond that. We have the Police Cooperative Society, which we have direct control because it is ours. We don't need the National Assembly to tell us what to do with the police cooperative. And the Police Cooperative Society is probably the largest cooperative society in Africa and probably the richest. And so we've been able to manage our fund in such a way that we are currently doing a lot of property. We are currently developing a lot of property. If you witness the launching or the commissioning of the massive estate that we have in Idumu, Lagos, that we funded that project entirely from the Police Cooperative Fund. It was not an appropriation from anywhere. We are funding so many projects like that. What are we trying to do? It is a welfare package. We are trying to deliver property and houses to our police officers, and we are doing it on the owner-occupier basis. So we get this property, and
are you talking about a housing scheme?
Yes,
for police
the housing
officers?
scheme of the police. And we've not just gone. We have even gone ahead to actually establish a police mortgage bank, and we want to believe that probably in the next 1 year or two, police officers, because they are all contributors to the National Housing Scheme, will be able to approach the police mortgage bank and get a minimum of 5-10 million to develop property of their own, beyond what we are doing now, developing and selling to them at subsidized rates.
Property, this development you're doing in terms of property, is it also affecting the barracks as they are now?
Now, you must drive, there's a clear dichotomy between houses that are being delivered by the police cooperative society and the ones we anticipated in the near future will be delivered by the police mortgage bank. These property are like our own investments. You know, the police have managed to run businesses very well. We have the police community bank, which the police microfinance bank, which today is the only microfinance bank in Nigeria quoted in the stock exchange, the largest, the biggest, and the most profitable. We're going a step further to establish the NPF Mortgage Bank. Our cooperative society is doing excellently well. It is the profit, the take home from all this that we're putting together to develop this housing scheme for police officers. And we're doing that we're doing that under a platform where, for example, Frank Mba, if I subscribe and I get to buy and I pay over time, it becomes my personal property. So by the time I retire from the police force, I will have a property I can retire into.
Mr. Mba,
that will help us to fight corruption.
We're pressed for time, and we're trying to touch on as many areas of your reforms as much as possible. You know, so much as yes, I think it's a good thing that the police is thinking outside the box and trying to put its own house in order before they can get, you know, outside support. So question would also be, are you also getting the commitment of those who matter? For instance, you've talked about police welfare package, you've talked about their salaries, but that it's beyond your powers. Do you seem to be getting the support that you need, the assurances that you need, that eventually it's something, it's work in progress, so to speak?
But I want to believe it's work in progress. The president in so many fora has expressed his readiness and his determination to get to this level we're actually all dreaming of. But again, probably it will also need Nigerians to begin to talk to their representatives, both in the House of Rep and perhaps at the Senate, because these are lawmakers ordinarily should be, they are our voices, they represent our various constituencies, and they should be the one to actually speak for us. Incidentally, the Nigerian police force, just like the Nigerian military and so many other security agencies, we can't unionize. So we don't have a voice. And so we need the citizens, we need our lawmakers to be able to make cases for us. And that's why I keep saying that every country will eventually have the kind of police it deserves. If Nigerians are desirous of building a police force that will compete favorably with the metropolitan police, provide us the platform that the British have actually provided the metropolitan police.
What is the avenue you're also providing for Nigerians to partner with you? I mean, how do they get to partner with you? Forget individual Nigerians, or we're seeing corporate bodies as well, but is there a room through which they can partner with your vehicle?
Now, what we're trying to do is experiences in the past. There has been experiments in the past that did not really go down well with quite a lot of us, both the citizens as well as police officers. And because of that, we are treading that path very cautiously. They say once bitten, twice shy. However, and again, we're also careful not to get support from unusual quarters, people that will hold us by the truth someday, sources that are clearly not credible. And that's why even in trying to seek for assistance, in trying to reach out for corporate giants, we are very careful to select those people that we know are credible and those who will not render assistances or render what on the surface is CSR, but if you unveil it, they could actually be described as bribes, so to say. But one of the things we're trying to do is what we're doing in Delta State come December 7th. And the scorecard for us, and even with the IGP, is not just all about scorecard. It is also an opportunity for us to interface with the corporate world, private citizens, those in government, those in the media, and then fine-tune some of the strategies we're also putting in place, like you call it, the platform, the vehicle for this kind of integration and cooperation. What we're doing in Asaba come December 7th, we will be bringing down the IGP with the entire management team, and we expect the Inspector General of Police to present his scorecard to Nigerians.
We've actually seen that a couple of times, the advert and announcement. But again, I'll let you wrap on that. But why the choice of Asaba?
Well, I think we are choosing Asaba for so many reasons. When you want to do a program of this nature, you want to do it in a very friendly atmosphere. You also you also look at so many other factors. For example, the governor of Delta State, to us, is one of those governors that obviously clearly understands the constitutional provision that says that the security and welfare of the citizens shall be the primary purpose of governance. The governor seems to understand that constitutional provision very clearly, and his actions, his words, he has tried to push for the welfare and the security of the citizens. We have seen in him a very passionate administrator, someone who is passionate about the security of Deltans, somebody who is very passionate about the security of the country. Perhaps again, I on a lighter note, I also feel perhaps because he is a medical doctor or he has a medical background, he clearly understands that there is a convergence, there's a meeting point between medicine and policing.
How is
the two professions are actually designed to save lives.
How is the format going to be like? Because there are so many questions some people would want to pose to the IG, but they haven't been able to get a one-on-one chance to see the IG and ask him such questions. Is it going to be an interactive forum where people can actually ask him any kind of question and every question?
Yeah, it's going to be a no-hose bar. Yeah. And what we're doing, first of all, let me tell you the composition of the audience. We're looking at having participants from every structure of the society. We expect all the service chiefs to be in attendance. We expect people from the media, NUJ, Guild of Editors, professionals, bankers, CEOs, the diplomatic community, a very wide audience. But beyond those that will be physically in Asaba or in the hall, we'll also be doing an online streaming, and we'll open the phones at a certain time, and we expect people to call in. We also expect people to take advantage of the internet and be able to send in questions. We will like them to interact with the IG. We would like them to interrogate the IG. We would like them to help in actually formulate the agenda for the IG, probably for the next year. So it's going to be something that has never been done before, and we will be breaking all known rules.
Well, Frank Uba, thanks for coming on Sunrise Daily.
It's always my pleasure.
Well, another moment here on Sunrise Daily, and we will return. Join us again.